Okay, here is episode number 2 covering my builds. Next on the block is my new Sportsman. I just finished it today. I was waiting on some knuckles. Shout out to Russell for lending me some brass ones for the build, but I'm going to be running aluminum that showed up today. Shout out to Deluxe. So I got one of these bodies. I know they're super hard to find, and it was hitting my rear links, so I cut it, and I wish I didn't. I probably should just let it sit on them, because you can't really get these anymore. If anyone has one of these, I will buy it. Set that aside. So we went with the Deluxe Lunatic V3. With most of my rigs, pretty much all of my rigs, I run the aggressors, and I built a little jig. I cut some of the shock body down. I can get a total if you're interested, but they're pretty short. They're shorter than a 90. I don't think they're quite an 80. I think they're probably like an 85 or something like that. I like them like this. I like my cars to sit pretty low. This is actually a pretty high car for me compared to, say, my Pro. Let's start at the back here. Voodoo tires, my own wheels. I don't like my screws to stick out anywhere, so all my wheels are chamfered. Every edge is chamfered, and this is my design, and I have them made for me. My inners are PETG on both rings, and I use 6 standoffs. So this is basically the exact same thing as what you're going to get from Deluxe in a loaded dice wheel, but I just made mine a little bit bigger because my weight hanger prints are deeper. They sit down lower. So I basically took the rule book and I maxed out what I can get away with. That's the only difference between mine and Deluxe. And I run 6 standoffs because in my eyes I thought that 4 would leave too big of a section where the foam would have a flat spot, and it could, I don't know, possibly affect the roundness of the tire. Say if you're burning out trying to get a climb, I don't want it to bump, 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 bump. So that's why I ran 6. Keep it more of an even circle. Deluxe SSD rear with underdrive gears, and I'm running a 225 hub, if I remember. Previous owner had the link riser, and he had an extra bend in the uppers, and they were actually, without the link riser, the bend was underneath the lowers. It would bend clean down underneath the lowers, so I straightened them out. They're not perfect. I'll probably end up getting some replacements. I may try to run 1/8" uppers front and rear, shave a little bit more weight. Without the tires and body, I'm sitting at 2.6 pounds. I'm pretty happy with that. Deluxe drive shafts, cut to length, and then I ran the Deluxe Sporty right hand front. This is the newest version, so it's got all the meat just taken right out of the center section, so there's really not much left to get hung up on. I do think I'm going to run the mount for now. The servo will be switched out to a direct power Shift RC servo as soon as that arrives. I went with, like I said, the aluminum knuckles, brass lower, aluminum top, and then a 3D printed weight hanger with only 2 tungsten slugs in it, believe it or not. Has me sitting just right, and that is likely because I have got everything on the front axle with this cool tray. The only thing I wasn't able to get in was the ESC, and I may try a smaller ESC in the future and see if I can get it up here, but I don't really think I'm going to need to. I've got the OD3 trans, the Stumpy motor, running XT30. These are the ultra lightweight Deluxe body mounts. Super happy with how those turned out. Super duper happy. I made a little plate, and if anyone wants one, just hit me up. If you're running this sporty axle and you want your battery in the front, I'll take it off so you can kind of see it. What I did was, oh wow, that stuff is so sticky. So I used to fly FPV drones, and these little battery pads everyone sticks on their carbon drone frame to hold their battery, because I mean those things are violent when they crash. Anyway, this is called Oh My God battery grip, and it's kind of expensive. It's like $11 for basically you can make about 3 of these out of it. But I run it not just to hold the battery, but to give a little cushion on the battery, because you're slamming these all the time, and I've had batteries get chafing on them and even start to puff up and things like that. This is the Ovonic 450 milliamp. This is what I'm switching pretty much all my cars to, except my Pro will be running the 650, or I'm sorry, not my Pro, my Super. We run the 650, and I had to change my mount for that to fit that. But these little guys, so I designed this little tray right here, and it's got slots for my strap is Kevlar with rubber on the inside, so it holds the battery and it's super durable. This one, however, with the body is not ever going to get really tested, but my Pro, my strap runs out in the open on the axle, and when I'm upside down it's constantly in the rocks, and that's why I make my battery mounts from TPU and I use Kevlar straps. My battery has never fallen out on me. As far as I know, anybody using my mount has never had a battery fall out in the middle of a course. That's the most horrible thing you can imagine happening. You got to get a reposition, touch your car, work on your car, lose precious time. It's frustrating. So yeah, I'm very OCD about making sure my batteries are 100% solid. So I made this little mount. This one's PETG. I could probably do it with TPU if I wanted to, but it sandwiches under the carbon between the servo, and then it sticks over the top of the electronics tray, which on this one, all I have in it is the receiver and then the extra wiring for the servo, because I didn't want to shorten it because I know I'm switching my servo. So I've just got it all bundled up in there for now. Like I said, this will be switched to a Shift RC servo. I'm going to switch to all my cars to Shift. I'm going to take off this clamping horn when I do so, because the clearance, I'm running it on the shorter hole. You don't need a whole bunch of servo horn with this setup. It doesn't move very much. But the clamping style is squared off on the backside of the horn, and if you look real closely, it actually rubs I don't know if you can see that at all. Yeah, right there. You can see it bulging the plastic when you go full lock. So yeah, you don't really want a clamping horn that's squared off on the back, because the squared corners rub that plastic. So that'll be getting switched out to just a regular rounded horn. Yeah, I've got all the steering I was able to get out of it. It's pretty decent, pretty happy with it. I don't know if you can even see it. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this car. I was pretty disappointed in my old Sporty. It wasn't great. I am running the 10% overdrive front, so I'm at 38% total with this trans, but I'm going to be switching to the Vanquish F10 20% overdrive, I believe it is. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, Deluxe has them available, so that should put me at 48. And then I'm not set in stone on that. I'm going to try both and see what I like. I do like a lot of overdrive. I run my Pro at 85% power to the rear, so that's 15% electrically, which I don't know what that calculates out to gearing, but yeah, I like a lot of overdrive. It doesn't bother me much. Unless you got to back up, and it makes your car do weird stuff. I may shave these little nubs of carbon fiber off where I'm not using that lower hole. I don't know how much it's going to affect me. That kind of bothers me. I wish it was a little smoother transition. And these I may try to switch out the nut and bolt and do the hollow ball, the threaded hollow ball, so that is the nut. So I would be removing this and this, and it would just be the hollow ball screwed onto a bolt with the rod sitting on it. And so that would take quite a bit off the side there. Probably just OCD. I don't think it'll hit anything, but it bothers me. Yeah, and then I fouled up and broke, I don't know if you can see that at all. I broke the brass threaded part of the printed servo mount on the Deluxe Sporty axle, because I accidentally picked up a screw that had dried Loctite on it and tried to run it in, and it grabbed that brass insert and twisted it. Deluxe was cool enough to take care of me, even though it was my fault. So when I get the new servo, I'm going to switch the new mount in. Yeah, I'm excited. This is going to be a really fun car. I'm still new to Sporty, I would say. Most of my experience is with the Pro. But I'll be coming with a full arsenal. I actually have a Super already built, and a Mini already built, and a P-Scale already built for this season. So those will be coming up in upcoming episodes, talking about the build and what I did. The Mini's going to have to wait because I'm not done with it completely, and the Super will probably be the next one that I cover. Stay tuned for that. Let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything that you want to know, or if you are interested in any of the stuff that I design and make. Shoot me a message.